It's March 26th. The reading today is Proverbs 13 and Ephesians chapter 6. Proverbs 13 is all on what kind of life will end well. Like much of the Proverbs, it's trying to convince us to choose a life of wisdom. And I would argue that Proverbs 13 says a life that ends well is one that denies itself and listens to wisdom. D.A. Carson points out in verse 10, it says, "Pride only brings quarrels, but wisdom is found in those who take advice." Wisdom is contrasted with pride. It discloses what wisdom is while showing that pride is folly. Let me point out a few other verses in this section. Verse 1, it says, "A wise man listens to rebuke." Verse 2, "He holds back his words while a fool just spouts them forth." Verse 7, "He holds back his wealth." Verse 13, "The wise reveres God's word." Verse 20, "The wise walks with the wise instead of fools." And verse 25, "The wise knows that they have enough while the fool always wants more." And so in verse 24, the wise parent can discipline their child because they've already disciplined themselves. That takes us straight to Ephesians chapter 6, where Ephesians chapter 6, verse 1 calls for children to obey their parents. But right after that, it calls for parents to be self-controlled and not provoking their children to anger. So parents, never discipline your children in anger. But all of us can learn the wisdom that the greatest result comes from moments of self-denial and instead trusting in God and what He says.